All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to How to Master SQL DBA with TK. And as you already know, I'm TK himself. If you are new here, this is our YouTube channel where we post all our videos about SQL. Please check them out. All right. Let me open my notepad real quick and let's check out what we have today. Okay, that's the good one. So the project for today is how to remove, add, failover, and suspend data movement in always on availability groups. Yes, that's a good one because last time we were able to create our always on availability group successfully and everything is running perfecto. So this is a continuation of last project. All right, without talking too much, let me hop on my virtual machines and let's check. Oh no, first let's look at the project overview, right? We have an overview. Yes, right here. Okay, this is the project overview, right? So we have received this from our manager. So they want us to remove database AdventureWorks 17 from our AG group, this AG group. Also, they want us to suspend data movement for database. Let me separate that. Database AdventureWorks 2019 on the same AG group. And after that, they now want us to add back database AdventureWorks 2017 to the AG group, and they want us to resume the data movement for AdventureWorks 2019. After we have done that, they want us to fail over SQL 01 to SQL 02, which means that 01 is because it's going to become the secondary, 02 is going to become the primary. But after we do that, they want us to fall back, right, to the original. So 02 is going to become the secondary, 01 is going to be the primary once more. That is the overview of the project. So let me copy this and I'll take it to my SQL 01 because that is where we'll be doing most of the work. So, all right, now I can open my virtual machine and I check my SQL 01 is running, up and running. If yours is not running, you know what to do, right? Right click and connect. All right, since mine is running, I just have to go down here, click, and it's up. Then I'm up my notepad. I just open the note, open this notepad, and I'm going to paste that information in there. All right, so I'm on the server. I can minimize it. Now I'm on the server. I always say, then confuse the server and the instance. I want to connect to the instance, right? So I'll click on my SQL Server Management Studio, my yellow box. Click on it. So I'm waiting for it to open up. We give it some time. Sometimes it takes a few minutes, right? So we already know. Sometimes we just have to wait a little bit. Just be patient for a little bit. All right, so now that we are here, we verify that we are connected on SQL 01. We're using Windows authentication. Shiloh's our user. Everything is good. We click connect. All right. Now that we are in, let's start with our project. So let's go on the left side where it says always on high availability. Let's click the plus sign and let's click one more. So when you click and we come to right here, that it says AG HGC 01. Right click on that and I'll show you some. I'm going to show you some things real quick. First off, when you right click, right, you can add a database, you can add a replica listener, and you can go to the dashboard. You can do a failover, and you can property delete. You see all that, right? Does the normal stuff. But what I want to show right now is let's click on the dashboard. Click on that. This is very, very important. You see this right here? This should be your best friend when it comes to always on. This is how you troubleshoot your always on issues, right? When you look at the dashboard, what are you looking at? First off, the most important thing you want to check is right here. Synchronize, no data loss. Synchronize, no data loss. Both on the primary and the replica. That is the first thing you should look at. If for some reason you see that you are losing data, or you think that if there's a failover, there's going to be a data loss, you have to start figuring out what is going on, right? So the first thing you want to look, and the only thing you have to look is make sure it's synchronizing and there is no data loss. That is the most important part of this dashboard right here. It is anything else that I said you didn't listen to this. It's very important. And also, you can see right here that my failover is automatic, and it's synchronized right here. Maybe you realize if you're paying attention, you see that I changed it, right? The failover mode when we created this was manual, but I've changed it. Also, the synchronous or asynchronous, I changed it to synchronous. Don't worry, I'm going to show you what I did in a few seconds. Okay, go back here where I'm showing, right click. Now go to properties. When you are in properties, right, this is what I did, right? You come here, you can change your failover mode. You see that? If you click right here, you go down, you can change from manual to automatic and vice versa, right? But keep in mind that when you are in manual, right, you can click either to be asynchronous or synchronous, right? But if you click to automatic, it can only be synchronous. Why? Remember that synchronous prioritizes data integrity. Because of that, and because it's an automatic failover, they want to ensure that your data is good before it just fails over automatically. Because remember, with manual, somebody has to manually fail over. So if a disaster occurs, when it's automatic, they want to ensure that your data is good. They don't want to give you some kind of data that is not good, right? That is why it has to be automatic only and synchronous. When it has to be synchronous when it's automatic. That is the reason why. Alrighty, and again, we can change. If you want to change from read only, we can do the drop down right here. So I think right here everything is good, and we can just click cancel. There's nothing else we need to change there. Now let's click one more. So let's click on the plus sign right there, and now we have our replicas. If we click here, we can add more replicas, but we don't want to. And now we have our databases. If we click here, we can add a database, and that is what we are going to be doing. But let's click one more, and now we can see the databases that are on this AG group, right? So we have SQL 2022, 19, 17, and 16. So what does our ticket say? It says one, remove the database AdventureWorks 2017 from this AG group. So that's the first thing we are going to do. We're going to remove that. So how do you remove it? So you come click on AdventureWorks 2017. When I say click, I mean right click. And you see it has so many things you can do. You can go to the report, you can refresh, PowerShell, but what you can suspend the data movement. But what I want to do is remove. So I click on that right there, and I click on OK. You see how fast that was? So you have to be very careful. It didn't even give me an option to ask me like, hey, are you really sure you want to remove this? When I click on that, it was gone like poof. So please be careful when you are removing that database. Make sure that you really want to remove it. So if I refresh, I go back to my databases, you will see that AdventureWorks 2017 is no more synchronizing right here. It's done, finito. It's no more in an AG group. And also, let me connect to my secondary server. So let me show you how. Go to this drop down right here. Drop down one more. Just click the plus sign, keep dropping down. And you can click, you go to one more, drop down. And now go to where it says secondary replica, right click, and you click connect. This box opens up. You make sure 02 is the secondary replica. You just click connect. Once you click connect, you see down here we are connected. You see that? Now, if you click on the plus sign to drop down, you will see something. SQL 2017 is in a restoring state. If you ever see this, it simply means that something happened, right? Whenever it's in a restoring state, probably you go, especially if this is the replica, you go to the primary and check it out and see if somebody removed it from the AG group, right? Whenever you go to like a secondary and it's in a restore state, always go to your replica to verify that, hey, what is going on? And most probably that's what has happened. All right, now that we know that we removed it successfully, it's restoring, let's open up and see what is next on the list. Next on the list, it says that suspend data movement on SQL 019. All right, on AdventureWorks 2019. So let's suspend data movement. We're not going to remove it, but we're going to suspend the data movement. So the same thing that we have been doing. So we come here all the way to availability databases. We click on the plus sign. Now this is SQL 019. We right click. So instead of removing, we do suspend data. Click on that. Once you click on that, you click OK. And just like that, it's suspending, it's suspending, it's suspending. Boom! Just like that, and you'll see it's gonna show us right here. Just wait and see. Let me refresh this. If I refresh this and I go back, hey, I'll show you something. And I come here. I come here. Where you at? 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 Come on. Oh, let me minimize this. All right, I'm in the wrong place. Over here, I go to always on and click and click and keep clicking. And now you see this right here. It has like a little question mark thing, right? So this is green, meaning that the data is moving, but this has like a little question mark right there showing me that data has been suspended. If I click on the database right here, you will see that it says not synchronizing. You see that? And if I go down here on the replica, right? The replica is down here, the replica. If I click on the plus sign, it tells me the same thing. Let me refresh and it will show, because right now it's not showing. If I refresh it and I click on databases, you see it's saying right here, not synchronizing. Also, if I look on my dashboard, right? Remember I said our dashboard should be our best friend because it gives us all the information that we need. It says critical warning. It's telling us something is wrong. You see that? If you look right here, very important, very important, very important. This is the primary. It says AdventureWorks 2019 is not synchronizing, but again, there is no data loss on the primary. Now, if we look on the secondary, again, it is not synchronizing, but there is a probability of a data loss, right? So keep that in mind, because what we are going to do is going to be very important. Is related to this. So this is how, again, you check your dashboard to see what is going on with your always on groups. Very important information. All right, now let's check on our note and see what it says next. It says, okay, they want us to do what? Add back database. Want us to add back AdventureWorks to AG group, right? So they want us to add it back. So remember, we will remove it. So now they want us to add this database, right, back to the availability groups. How do we do that? Good question. So we come here where it's availability group. You see the primary, we click. When we click that, it says what? Add database, right? So click on that. Once we click on that, now it should open this box. We go next. Now it gives us this option. It says that this database, okay, like it says that this database meets prerequisite, as you already know, but we don't want that. This database is already part of the availability group. This meets prerequisite. You see that, and that is what we want to add, right? We want to add AdventureWorks 17. That is the one we remove. So we hit next. And now what do we want to do? We want to connect to the secondary server that we are going to add it on. It's not connected. You see? So you click connect. Once you click connect, you make sure you connect. Just a quick note on connect, right? Right now, it's grayed out because we have just one secondary server that we are connected to. If we had multiple secondary servers, there'll be a drop down here for us to select. Always make sure we select the right server, right? That is a big thing. You don't want to connect to the wrong server. Very important. Double check, triple check. Okay, connect. Now that it's connected, we hit next. And remember, it was automatic settings. You hit next. Oh, we have a problem, right? It says check if the selected database already exists on the server host. Okay, I know what is going on and I'll tell you how to fix that. Cancel from here and say yes. Remember, I told you that we are going to use this information right here, right? So, what is happening right now is like this database technically already exists on the secondary because it's there, it's restoring. You see that? It's restoring. So what we need to do, we need to delete this before we can re-add it. And that is fine because if we delete this, we are not going to lose any data because if we look at this dashboard, right, the database is coming from where? It's coming from the primary server. And as you can see, it says what? Let me see the information. No data loss. So there's no, this was already restoring. So again, we don't have to worry about data loss because it was on the primary server, and the primary server was the main server that they were inserting, deleting, and doing all the works on, right? So it just got removed. So even if we delete this secondary server, let's say delete and delete, we are not going to lose any data. That is fine. So let's delete this and then go back now and add that server back, add that database back. So you have to delete it. Once you delete that, then you come back here, you hit again on primary, you hit on add database, you go next, then you select Adventure 2017, you go next, then you connect again, hit and connect, you go next, and now you see everything succeeded. There's no more check saying, there's no more an error message saying that check if it exists. Hit next and hit finish. And just like that, we have added that database on to this AG group. And it's just the same way we could have added a new database, right? The same standard. So the same way. All right. So now if I come here and I refresh and I look at my databases, you will see that AdventureWorks 2017 is now synchronizing. You see that? And if I go to the secondary and I refresh, look on the databases, you see it's now synchronized. Good. Then another part, let's go to the next thing. It says resume data movement for database AdventureWorks 2019. How do you do that? All right, remember we stopped data movement. Now I want to resume it. So again, we go on the primary. Again, please don't forget, I have two servers right here, right? I have the primary on top right here, and I have the secondary in the bottom, right? So I know I go back and forth, but please do not confuse that. There are two servers that I'm working on. So let me go on the primary on top. I click here, then I go to where it says availability groups. I click on that. Then I go click on availability groups again. Then I click until I see databases and I click. Now let me click on AdventureWorks 2019. I click, and just like that, it says resume data movement. Last time instead of letting me stop, now I want to resume it. I click resume and click OK. And it's going. It's going to take a few minutes. It's going, and just like that, it has resumed. If I refresh everything, then I click on my databases, you see, synchronized. It looks good. And again, if I refresh my secondary server, and look at the databases. Just like that, it has synchronized. And please also keep in mind that yes, I know that it's synchronized so fast. Remember that the size of your database, how much data, gonna determine how fast it's synchronized, right? If you have a huge database, it might take a few minutes for it to fully synchronize. It's not gonna be as fast as we are doing it here. So always keep that in mind, that your database size and your data size determines how fast it's synchronized. Also, if you look on our dashboard, everything is green, right? The dashboard pick everything up. So look, it says synchronize, 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 synchronize. No data loss, no data loss, no data loss. So please, this dashboard should be your best friend. It tells you a lot. It gives you a lot of information that you need and what to fix and how to fix them, right? If your database is not synchronizing, which database is not synchronizing, right? You get the information here. You can see it real quick. So you should always check your dashboard for that information. If anything is wrong, you will see it here. Very, very important. Please, 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 when it comes to AG groups, this dashboard should be one of the best tools that you use to get reliable information. You see how when it was synchronized, it picked it up so quick and it's showing me everything looks good. All right, so now let's go to the big one. So let's do a failover. So we are going to fail over the entire server. We are going to fail over this server right here to the primary. We're going to fail it over to this right here and make it the primary. You are going to be doing that a lot at your company, especially if they have like projects to update or to do some kind of maintenance. This is something that you do at least once or twice or maybe even multiple times a month. So please, you have to know how to fail over. Again, before you fail over, right, what you want to check is your dashboard. Make sure you are not losing data anywhere. If you are, please stop and fix it before you initiate a failover. Very important. I cannot stress that enough. And also, I advise you, if you want to do a failover, you have to change you have to change to synchronous mode because it prioritizes data integrity. You want to fail over just your good data. And again, I'm going to show you once more how you can change this information. So let's do it right now. So this is the primary server, right? SQL 01. So we want to fail it over. Let me show you real quick. Let me minimize that. Let me close this. So what's going on? Okay, that's good. Okay, so let's click on availability right here. Availability groups, AD groups. You see what I'm talking about right here. You can see SQL 01. You see it says primary. You see that? SQL 02 says secondary. What we want to do is we want to switch them. So we are going to make SQL 02 the primary, and we are going to make SQL 01 the secondary. Again, before you do it, always make sure you right click here, go to properties. In properties, change your mode. Change this to synchronous right here. To synchronous. Change again and to synchronous before you initiate your failover. Once you have done that, then you click OK. All right, I'll show you that again. Click OK. Then you come back here, right click over here, and now you can initiate your failover right here. You see where it says failover. You click on that. This window opens up. You click next. Now, this is what you are looking at. Again, it's going to remind you, very important. I cannot emphasize that enough. You are doing, it was supposed to be a manual failover, but automatic failover. And the data, there's no data loss right here. Remember, there's no data loss right here. You see? That's what you want to look right here. If you see data loss, go back, cancel. Don't continue. All right, so click next. Now, connect to the server that you want to make your new primary. So since this replica is the secondary, we click connect. This is right here, right? And we click connect. And now that's it. We click next, and it's going to give us all this rundown. We just click finish. And just like that, it's now switching places. We're going to wait, and that's it. It has failed over successfully. So we can close. The key takeaway from that is, please don't do it if you see data loss. All right. So now let me refresh. And every day to refresh, right? If I go to replicas, I'll show you something. Now you see this right here says what? Secondary. And now this is the primary. If you really want to verify that, you can come here on SQL 02, you expand, you go to your availability groups, and then you click again on your availability groups. And now as you can see, click on the availability groups, replicas, and you will see that SQL 02 is the primary and SQL 01 is the secondary, meaning that every connection now is on SQL 02, right? And SQL 01 should be in read only. If I were to refresh this and I check, they are all synchronizing, and I believe they are all in read only. So that is how you do a failover. And when you do it, and once they are done doing the project, like example, if for some kind of maintenance, some kind of update, they will ask you to fail it back over. So once you do a failover, because remember, it's always good to have a fixed primary, right? So they'll ask you to fail it back over to your original primary, which is what we are going to do, because we have failed it over. Where's the ticket right here? We failed it over, and now we are going to fail back over SQL 02 to SQL 01. All right, so let's do it. How do we do it? Just the same thing we just did in reverse. So we go to SQL 02 right here, and then we click on the AG group, and we click on failover. Then you click next, and then again, what are you looking for? No data loss. No data loss. I can't say that enough. No data loss. Okay, so you click next, and now you click on connect. Then now, as you see SQL 01. That is when you want to make the primary. It's good. You click connect, and again you click next. Everything looks good. Next, and you wait for it. You're waiting for it to perform it. You're waiting. And that is it, right? Everything looks good. The wizard computed successfully. You close it, and if you refresh it, you will see that everything has gone the way it was before. If you click on availability groups, you click on the AG group name, the replicas, you click on that, you will see that yes, now this is back the secondary. As a matter of fact, it changes here. You can look at the dashboard. Remember, I told you the dashboard. You can even look from the dashboard. It keeps switching, so it just switched back, right? It's good. Then we can close from here. Then we can come here to, if you really want to verify, click here, click again, click on the AG groups, click on the replicas, and now SQL 01 is back to primary, is back to being the primary, and SQL 02 is back to being the secondary. So this is the beauty about always on. So I hope the class was interesting. I hope we had fun, and at least I hope we have an understanding of how always on works, right? And the function of always on. Alrighty, so we'll stop the project for today here, and let's see what we have on our menu. Let's see what we got going on next. Let me see. Let me open this up. So for the next class, we have agent jobs. Okay, so we are going to create jobs at the agent level. Alrighty, team. So you guys and girls stay blessed, and I will see you during the next project when we are creating jobs at the agent level. Bye bye. I'm out. Ciao, ciao. Oops.